Hello again, this is Nigel from Mad About Animals. In this video, I'd like to talk a little bit about hope for the future. Over the past few years, there's been a massive increase in the number of vegans. I meet a lot of new vegans who also become activists, people who decide that it's not good enough to just be vegan, but also to be active. Quite often what happens is these people set off doing activism with massive amounts of enthusiasm, and they do everything they possibly can for a few weeks, a few months, and then they disappear. You don't see them again. I used to wonder why this was. I think it is largely because people get frustrated now that they've seen that we need a vegan world and they've seen the atrocities that are happening in animal agriculture. They want everyone to go vegan. So they go into activism and they try and persuade people to go vegan like we all do. And they get frustrated when it doesn't happen. They get disillusioned. Now, I'm pretty sure that most of these people stay vegan, but they certainly don't do as much activism as they do at the start. So this video is a little bit of hope for those sorts of people, but it's also hope for us all. And more importantly than anything, it's hope for the animals. Personally, I've been vegan for 4 or 5 years. Sadly, I can't remember the exact day I went vegan, so I'm sorry for being a bit vague there. But prior to that, I was vegetarian for well over 30 years, something like 32 years. So you have to go back to the late 80s when I last consumed animal products. Well, sorry, when I last consumed meat. Back in those days, food wasn't labelled. Nothing was labelled vegetarian, certainly not vegan. Now you could find vegetarian stuff, obviously, but food just wasn't labelled. I live in a city called Leeds, which is in the north of England for people who are not familiar with the UK. It's a city of about 800,000 people. In the late 80s, when I first went vegetarian, there were probably three, maybe four places selling meat substitutes, things that were vegetarian and vegan in a city of that size. Three, maybe four. For comparison purposes, I walk down the high street of the suburb where I live. Now, it's a suburb of Leeds with a population of about 20,000 people. The high street is about 200 metres long. On that high street today, when I walked down it, I counted 14 places that had vegan options. So these were bakeries such as Greggs, takeaways such as Domino's, Subway, places like that. There were coffee shops, pubs such as Wetherspoons, where you can get vegan meals. But there were also supermarkets and other shops where vegan options were available. So that's 14 in a suburb of 20,000 people versus three or four in a city of 800,000 people 30 something years ago. And that's not including the supermarkets that are not on the high street. So in my part of town, there's probably 20 plus shops, pubs, restaurants where vegan options are available. And what's more, lots of vegan options in some of them. Food is clearly labelled, not just vegetarian, but also vegan. There's a massive upsurge in vegan options. So, of course, we all want a vegan world now, and the vegan world can't come soon enough for the animals. And we're all doing everything we can to make that happen. But please don't get disheartened. We are getting there. We are winning. There will be a vegan world. We will get there. Just this little experiment, not really an experiment, is it? Just this little observation of what's happened in my lifetime in the 30 something years since I stopped eating animals. Of course, 30 something years is a long time when you consider all the billions of animals who died in that space. But we are getting there. We are getting there. We will win for the animals. We have to. I've been Nigel from Mad About Animals. If you've enjoyed this or found it informative, please like, share and subscribe and watch out for the next video. Thank you.